must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. These iconic words constitute the Litany Against Fear. The story of Dune opens on Caladan, the oceanic planet that serves as the homeworld for House Atreides. The Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohayim arrives in the Vale of Night. She intends to visit and test the boy Paul Atreides. He will need to maintain complete control of his faculties and utilize all of his training to survive the Reverend Mother's trial of pain. Paul's reliance on this adage and quiet recital of it to himself gives us a glimpse into his mindset as he faces an inevitable storm of chaos and fearful events to come. Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune is set to cover the first half of Frank Herbert's iconic novel. In this movie, we will get to see Paul's test with the Reverend Mother and how Denis incorporates this litany into the theme of Paul's journey to face his destiny. In this video, I'd like to talk about the Bene Gesserit Litany Against Fear, how Paul Atreides uses it to pass the Gom Jabbar test, as well as the purpose the test serves for the secretive society of the Bene Gesserit. In the universe of Dune, a form of the Litany Against Fear has existed since ancient times. Before the events of the Butlerian Jihad, which was a war that saw the end of all forms of thinking machines, and which took place over 10,000 years before the events of Frank Herbert's first novel, this litany existed as an ancient mantra which read, "I have no fear, for fear is the little death that kills me over and over. Without fear, I die but once." This is derivative of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, which read, "A coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but the valiant taste of death but once." It seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Considering that Frank Herbert's universe is set far into the future of our reality, it would make sense that a few expressions from the old world will have survived the passing ages. Through the years, forms of this litany have been used as a tool to focus one's mind in the face of danger or fear. The version that Paul recites originated from the Sisterhood of the Bene Gesserit. We learn much about this mysterious order based on these words intended to subdue their most primal instincts. The Bene Gesserit are religiously devoted to maintaining control of their entire beings, mind, body, and soul. Their schools are actually designed to maximize the physical and mental potential of humans. An acolyte of the Bene Gesserit must gain mastery over every muscle fiber, nerve, and natural instinct. Stress causes the brain to temporarily override conscious thought, so that the body can divert all of its energy to facing whatever threat there may be. This often triggers a fight or flight response. The Reverend Mother refers to this as an animal instinct. As she describes it to Paul, "You've heard of animals chewing off a leg to escape a trap? There's an animal kind of trick. A human would remain in the trap, endure the pain, feigning death that he might kill the trapper and remove a threat to his kind." The Bene Gesserit litany enables them to gain control whenever panic might set in. This proverb provides a foothold of sorts to help the mind get started again. For Paul, this litany is vital in aiding him to put mind over matter, especially when he is tested by the Reverend Mother. This test consists of a box. Frank Herbert names this contraption in a later sequel, Heretics of Dune, as the agony box. Though it doesn't cause physical harm to the flesh, it is a fitting moniker for this device that inflicts pain by nerve induction. The natural reaction of any human when the nerves begin to send signals of pain would be to remove one's hand from the box. The Gom Jabbar is used as a deterrent to that. This deadly weapon, which is also referred to as the high-handed enemy, is a meta-cyanide poisoned needle that is placed upon a thimble so as to be worn on a person's fingertip. The Gom Jabbar test is used by the Bene Gesserit to determine whether or not an individual's awareness is stronger than their instincts. If awareness of a lethal threat, i.e. the Gom Jabbar, was strong enough, then it would override the fight or flight instincts to escape the physical pain of the agony box. The Gom Jabbar test that Paul endures at the beginning of Dune helps the reader to gain insight into his thoughts and serves as a prelude of sorts for things to come. As the story unfolds, we find that Paul will have to face many fear-inspiring events, and to allow that fear to overtake him would mean his certain demise. For the Reverend Mother, this test was presented to Paul to help her discover whether the boy was truly human, able to rise above animal instincts and to maintain self-control. In the book, she asks Paul whether he'd ever sifted sand through a screen, stating that the Bene Gesserit sift people to find the humans, to set them free. The Bene Gesserit's secret mission and ultimate goal is meant to be achieved through a special breeding program spanning thousands of years, in which they have sifted humans to produce a powerful offspring known as the Kwisatz Haderach. This super being would ultimately enable them to gain control over the universe. Lady Jessica has defied the direction from the sisterhood to have a female child, instead producing a son, Paul. The Reverend Mother fears that their carefully crafted plans may now be in jeopardy. In order to get a handle on the situation, she must test Paul to learn more about his potential and whether or not he could be used and controlled by the Bene Gesserit to attain their goal to guide the course of humanity's future. After Paul passes the test, Mohiam is intrigued by the potential she sees in him, noting that he has survived more pain than any other Bene Gesserit inductee. The Reverend Mother's exposition found in the book also gives the reader an excellent opportunity to learn more about the history of the Duneverse. This scene for me was one of the most memorable and intriguing elements of David Lynch's 1984 film. If handled properly, it can be a fantastic way to set the stage for the outworking of the story of Dune and can be instrumental in setting the tone for any adaptation. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Denis Villeneuve portrays these elements, and to see the entirety of this scene play out in his adaptation of the first half of the book. But let me know what you think about the Gom Jabbar test. Have you enjoyed its depiction in previous adaptations? Are there elements from the book that you'd like to especially see in the upcoming film? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Dune and other sci-fi and fantasy content. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.